Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews. This is just a very quick review for the ChipNDale Rescue Rangers film, which appeared on Disney Plus earlier last week, and it's a really good fun film. It really is a really good fun film, a perfect sort of blend of classic and sort of family comedy capers, the likes that we used to get in the 90s, and it works by virtue of acknowledging how ridiculous it is in a very similar sense to Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Is it as clever as Who Framed Roger Rabbit? No, it's not. Is it as dark as Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Absolutely not. This film is aimed squarely at, like I said, those sort of kid, very young kid family sort of dynamics. But that's not to say that it doesn't have something in there for you if you're a big fan of Roger Rabbit. You do get a number of cameos, you do get some wild setups set in the real world, and it fits, it all fits. It never feels out of place, it never feels overcooked or undercooked for that matter. So it blends the whole idea of animation living in the real world very well. It doesn't really do too much of it, I must say. It kind of just exists, and you don't get too many sort of crossovers or too many sort of interactions with the real world, if that makes sense. Even though a lot of it does take place in the real world, it doesn't sort of have that unnerving sort of extra realistic. It's hard to explain, really. I'm thinking about Roger Rabbit and how some of the things that happened in Roger Rabbit were so extreme, so bizarre. Especially when Eddie Valiant goes into Toonland, a Toontown, and it's nightmarish. It's nightmare fuel. It still terrifies me, that. You don't get anything quite like that in this film. It's much more grounded, but its strength lies in the characterizations. So we have Andy Samberg and John Mulaney playing both Chip and Dale in this, and they're perfect. They're perfect. They're very light-hearted. And they're so well versed in who Chip and Dale are. They clearly did their homework with regards to these characters, and for me, so I remember Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers from when I was growing up, and at one point Chip and Dale were my favourite characters, my favourite Disney characters, and I remember seeing them at Disneyland Paris and being absolutely overawed by the characters, and you get a sense of love in that regard with these characters. And within this film there is a great sense of precious joy held into their performances, and it translates really well into the film and gives the film that little bit of extra where it seems to fall flat. So yeah, the script is a bit bizarre. It's a bit all over the place. It does flitter really, really quickly between one set piece and another. And then in honest truth, if I was to try and think about what actually happens in the film, going forward, I don't think I can. Like I said, the script is a bit up and down. It's a bit all over the place. But the villains in this piece are hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. You've got J.K. Simmons playing a rubber a plasticine copper in this as their captain, as a captain of the police force, and then you have, like I said, you have the villains in this piece who are really, really good. I won't spoil it because it does give you some decent surprises, and some of the cameos in this film are really good. One in particular is the best cameo I have ever seen. It's absolutely superb, and given the uproar that surrounded this character, you probably already know anyway, but given the uproar that surrounded this character when he was initially revealed before he was changed, God, it's perfect. It's the absolute best sort of acknowledgement of failure, and then strange redemption for this character. And it's only a cameo. It's only a joke, but it's that strange sort of redemption that you get from this character. It's superb. Well fucking done, Disney. And I've got to be honest, I think this is one of the best Disney films that I've seen in the last few years. Brand new films. It's not a remake, it's not a reboot. it's something fresh. It revitalizes these characters that have sort of faded away and not been involved in anything mainstream Disney for a while, and it fucking works. It's absolutely superb. It's not a remake of an animated film. It is its own identity that riffs off and acknowledges its own past and plays for something entirely new, and it works by that virtue. You need to do more stuff like this, Disney. You need to stay away from remaking animated films that are already superb and they're already locked in, for all time. You need to stay away from that and focus on things like this, new IPs that utilize existing characters in a meaningful way, in a real way that works. Because this is a great film. It's a really, really great film. It's not perfect at all. There are a few things in it that I was like, rubbish, load of shit. But it's a lot of fun. It's that perfect sort of fun Sunday film that you want, that you absolutely used to watch Disney films for. You'd put them on in the background while you were doing something else, or you put them on, so you can sit with your mum and dad or your brother and sister and watch it for an hour and a half to keep them quiet. It's that kind of film. That's where Disney should be. Really, really good. Highly recommend this film. Like I said, it's not perfect. The score will reflect that. I'm going to settle with a nice, lovely 7 out of 10 here because it is a good, fun film. There were a few moments, like I said, where I kind of went, oh, and it was mainly to do with the script, the pacing, some of the characters in it, and unnecessary. You don't need them. It takes away from the main focus, which is Andy Samberg and John Mulaney as ChipNDale. But some of the callbacks are spectacularly handled. Some of the references are wonderfully placed, not overused, and they don't undermine anything that happens in the film either, and don't take away from it. We're getting a lot of films with a lot of cameos, not just in this film, but in general. And we're getting to a point where cameos can sometimes derail a film, can sort of overawe a film, and, make you forget what you're there for in the first place. I'm looking at you, Multiverse of Madness. But this film doesn't do that. It doesn't fall prey. It doesn't fall victim to too much. It's just enough. It's just right. Just as good fun. Really recommend this film. ChipNDale Rescue Rangers. A nice lovely 7 out of 10. Go and watch it. It's if you're watching this today, it's raining up here in the northwest in England. If it's raining where you are, don't go outside. Put ChipNDale Rescue Rangers on. Get yourself a nice lovely hot chocolate or a can of beer or, I don't know, a fucking gin spritz or something. I don't know, whatever you want. Piss off. 7 out of 10. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.